Right, you lot, and welcome to the third instalment in this truly epic series where I'm ranking VA students based off different stats. This is the third video of this, and you lot seem to love it, so I'm going to keep doing it. So, if you don't know what I do here, it's basically I take all the year 10, 11, and 6th form students, I rate them based off certain stats, whether that be speed or how they do in a boxing ring, and it's been quite controversial both times, but this time we're doing something different. We're doing intelligence tier list. So it doesn't matter, you may be useless on a football field, but we're talking about how smart you are. So yeah, let's go over the tier. Now I'm a bit different actually. I'm not including the college students like the Hodges or Orans in this because they've actually gone to college, so they're actually smarter than us. They've like taken GCSEs. We're not capable of that. So like, yeah. So let's go with the tiers. We've got Manfred Einstein, aka the GOAT. Only one can go in there. We got quite the intellectual individual. Bloody hell, who wrote that? That's a mouthful. Who wrote that? Miss Davy. Then we got smart in their subjects. This basically means they may not be the sharpest tool in the shed, but they do have some things they're smart in, just they have weaknesses as well. We got average, you're not really smart, but you're not stupid. Then we got about as impressive as Sam's balance. Puts you like that tier name. Then we got Man said Harry and Marv, so your IQ is about on par with the bad guys off Home Alone. And we got, just to kind of add, the Christmas feel. And then we got the Luke and Ainsley tier. And I wonder who's going to be in there. Right, the first person is Harvey. No. Why is Harvey always first in this bloody tiers? Where am I going to put Harvey? I think Harvey is quite intellectual. I think he wants to be intelligent, and I think he does try. And I don't think he's like GOAT status. He could be in this tier, but I think because of his like determination, he's probably top two in maths in the whole school. Like, probably him and Bro are the top two, you could argue. Maybe Rufus is up there, but I think he deserves that. English, he's not as good, but he still has to be up there because he's a smart guy. Harvey. You're not the GOAT, Harvey. Accept it. Right, then we got Poppy. I'm going to put her average. I think she has got some knowledge, but I think she focuses too much time being dramatic when she could be reading and writing. So that's my issue with her. Then we got Sam, and I'm sorry, Sam. You're a nice guy, but you're not intelligent in the slightest. I mean, a key issue with Sam is that he can barely speak a sentence, let alone write a sentence. So, like, I mean, you can barely understand what he's saying most of the time. You're good at sports, you're a good team leader, but when it comes to intelligence, you've got little to nothing. Then we've got Ethan. I think there's an argument that Ethan could be the GOAT in this one. I'm not putting him for the GOAT. I think Ethan's like, he's kind of like the straight man in Venture's Academy. To use that analogy, he's like the normal guy for in the middle of the madness. I feel like he's always confused, my guy. Like, but I feel like he's too smart for his own good, and sometimes he over questions like the simplest thing. So there's an argument to move him down a tier, but then again, because of his sheer knowledge, there's an argument to put him up a tier. So I'm just gonna put him here. Right, then we got myself. Oh, this is gonna be a bit awkward. Right, let me explain. When it comes to English, right, I'm second to none. Maths, you could argue that Bro and Harvey are better than me, but when it comes to overall IQ, I think I'm the smartest. I think that I'm like, I don't want to sound like I've got an ego, but like, I think the way I like my videos, the scripts I'm able to do for them, a lot of people just don't get the jokes I make. I think I've got a wide knowledge of like stuff that doesn't matter, but then I also know a fair bit. Science, if this was based off scientific knowledge, I'd be down in the same tier as Sam, but I genuinely think about that. Phoenix, I'm going to go smart in their subject. I think I don't know Phoenix too well. We've never really had a conversation, but from what I could tell, he does know some things. I don't think he's like GOAT status, but he definitely has, some niche things that he's very, like, knows a lot about, so he's got to be there. Liston. Anyone who's in sixth form has to be down there. I'm sorry, but like, there's a reason you're in sixth form. I mean, Liston's mathematic ability isn't really there. Just his like basic talking. I don't think he's fully aware of everything going on. Yeah, he's done there. Right, then we got Ainsley. Now, the reason Ainsley's in that tier, right, is there could be an argument. I think if we were discrediting the stupidest thing anyone's ever done in school, which I'm not going to shine light in it because they probably don't want me to, but that they made one of the stupidest mistakes I've seen someone make in my life. Like they did a Logan Paul 2018, but even worse. Like there's an argument to put Ainsley in the smart in his subject here because he knows a lot of stuff about like random stuff. The big issue with Ainsley is it's not really his fault, is it? But it's his memory. Like he doesn't really not really good at remembering stuff. But then again, he can remember random trivia about Star Wars for days. So it's like you remember the wrong things, mate. But because of your stupid slip up, you've got to be down there. Dylan McDonald, Luke Mayer not doing them. Connor Hammond. I'll put Connor Hammond in the average tier. No, because he's in sixth form, so he's got to be down here. I'm sorry, Connor Hammond. I know Harvey Dick rides you, but you don't seem stupid, but you don't really seem to be all there, like mathematically. Not really very impressive. Right, then we got Small Luke. Yet again, you made the stupidest mistake of all time. Not the first mistake you've made in that school, by the way, but like, my God. But I think if I was doing it properly, you probably could be smart in those subjects as well, maybe average. Right, then we've got Lily, who I'm gonna put Lily in smart in their subjects. I think we argue that she's like she may not be the most popular, but she does have knowledge. Like when it comes to English, she's quite good. I mean, she can't stay in a lesson for 5 minutes. I think if she stayed in more lessons, you could put her up to one of the intellectual tiers. She has the potential, which doesn't like fulfill it. Then we got Dylan, and I'm sorry, he spent about 20 minutes trying to know the difference between weather and climate. That puts him in that tier. Right, then we got Omar Stevenson. I know I said I wasn't doing sixth form, but he failed his English, mate. That's about as impressive as Sam's balance. Like you failed a functional skills English. You're bloody thick as hell. Right. Then we got Raf. I'm gonna put Raf in average. I think he does know knowledge about things, but like academically, his knowledge isn't really that useful. But I think sometimes being smart isn't actually good in the real world. Like you gotta have street smarts, haven't you? Right, then we got Bra Moment, and I think when it comes to like Bra's number two on the list for me. When it comes to like street smarts and like basic like awareness of the world, I think Bra's number one. But I think I do beat him on academics. So, but he's close. I think he's definitely top three in the school. I put me, him, and Ethan as kind of the top three. And I'll explain why a certain person isn't in the top three later. Mitchell, you know what? Mitchell, I'm putting you in smart in your subjects because you're the second smartest year 11. We've proven this. This is a undisputed fact. You know, he's smarter than he looks like, Mitchell Holland. Right, then we got Reese Wiesner. I'm going to put Reese in average. I'm going to put Reese in average because I think that he's smarter than he gives credit for. Maths and English, he's a bit but when it comes to like a computer, when it comes to like weird animation stuff and rolling start stuff he does, he's incredible. Like he does have his knowledge. The Keeley's the same, which is why I'm going to put the Keeley. You know, they're both going to smart in their subjects because the Keeley and Reese both have really good knowledge about certain things, but overall, when it comes academically, they're not that smart. Right, then we got Ellis. I think Ellis is quite intellectual. He knows a lot about like history and stuff, obviously, a lot of military stuff, which is kind of useful because that's the career he's going to delve into. And I think when he actually tries, he can be very smart at times. So yeah. Right, then we got Connor Gay, and I'm sorry. I mean, you spend more time moaning and roping around crying to your mum than actually doing the science work, so you've got to be there. Right, then we got Jamie. Jamie, he's only just left, so I'm going to put him on the tier. I'm going to put Jamie in average. I mean, he was in that school for like 11 years, so that's kind of a bad sign. But yeah. Then finally, we got Rufus Thacker. Right, Rufus, you're going Luke and Ainsley tier. Let me explain why, right? This guy should be the GOAT. He should be above me. This guy has got a GCSE, and a maths GCSE, right? It's confirmed that he passed it. right? So you should be saying, "Well, Lewis, how can he not be above you? That you even capable of doing all of them?" Well, he's still at the school. I mean, you get a GCSE and you go to sixth form. Why? You should be in college. So you made a mistake on par with the Luke and Ainsley mistake. So that means you are about as smart as a toad. Right, that was the intellectual tier list. I put myself as the GOAT. Everyone's gonna rinse me for that, but I think they're quite intellectual. Brett, Ethan, Harvey, and Ellis. Smart in their subjects: Phoenix, Lily, Michael, Nikili, and Reese. Average: Poppy, Raph, Jamie, Connor, Gay. About as impressive as Sam's Balance, Connor, Hamid, and Omar. Man said Harry and Marv. We've got Sam, Liston, and Dylan, and then Luke and Ainsley, Luke, and Rufus. Yeah, if what tier list do you want to see me do next? There's a few other ideas I could do, like entertaining. That could be a great one. How funny they are. Um, I know Harvey wants me to do like an overall stats, but I want to do a few more of these tiers before I do like just them as people. What other tiers could I do? Skinniest to fattest? That'd be shit. I don't know. I feel I could do like most entertaining or like best personality or like funniest, that sort of thing. Most memorable, most memed. Like there's endless possibilities with this series. So let me know what we want to do next. Goodbye, you lot.